uh, so many people are religious, because here in Europe we don't have so many actual fundamental rituals.
Can I take this one?
Okay, but I have a concept that it's fear of hell. It's a main cause, because obviously the first cause can be indoctrination.
Yes.
But as we go on in time, when the person gets more clever, it's actually fear from hell, because it was the main reason I was religious.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. As in, you're definitely right that the first cause in terms of religion as it is today is indoctrination, and I think you're partially right that it's Hadeism, it's not Hadeism, Hadeophobia or whatever, about the fear of hell. But it's not only that, it's also about the reassurance that all the indoctrinated have for each other. I mean, if you're just indoctrinated and you start believe, and you believe that, but no one else does, then obviously your faith wavers and you go down. But in a country such as America, when you have so many people that believe near on exactly the same thing what you do, then it boosts your faith and it preserves it in a sense. And then when it gets to the point when you have your own children, then you indoctrinate them, and the same thing goes into a circular type thing. Whereas in Europe, in my opinion, we've managed to break out of that. Thankful for that. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
But I think that is the reason why America suffers so badly with fundamentalism.
Can I add something?
Yeah, go on.
I think one really important thing to consider is why America got the way it is. Because your answer, I agree, it's correct, but it doesn't explain how it got that way. And a lot of it has to do, as I understand it, with the whole, settlers moving west.
No, it wasn't that, because I know exactly what.
Can I possibly answer this, since I'm the only American I think in the call?
Go on then, mate. Go on.
Ultimately, I think it's just because Americans are fucking stupid. They're extremely gullible. No, I'm serious. They're extremely gullible. I don't understand. I mean, the way that this country has been led down that path is a little bit complicated, but it's just that Americans are willing to believe a lot of stupid shit. I mean, and it's possibly just because we're extremely young as a country. I mean, most of these European countries are much more socially developed. They've been around for a longer time. We're still trying to gain our identity, and I think ultimately we'll get past it, hopefully.
Sure, but isn't there something... yeah, sure.
No, I think it can be also influenced by, for instance, when a family member dies at a funeral, and to reassure someone, you would like to think they're in a better place, so you would think of heaven. You would like to think there is another place for them where they, with different part of life, think they're still alive. So I think that could have a possible influence on their belief as well, so they'd be thinking God is responsible for taking care of them, reassured that they're still there. That's my opinion.
It's not just that. It's not. Sorry. It's not just indoctrination. Is that I think the USA more than any other company has a heavy thing with patriotism, and they instill patriotism into young kids as soon as they're in school. I mean, I think from all the pictures I've seen, there's always an American flag in.
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there's that patriotism combined with the indoctrination. I just think America has more experience than any other country of indoctrinating children, not just with religious beliefs, but with any belief that it wants it to. I mean, it just has more experience in that.
That's true. But as for fundamentalism, doesn't it have something to do with the whole thing with the echo?
Zulu.
People moving away from the major cities there on the East Coast, and basically leaving the well-educated people there, and basically just the morons went west, bringing their Bibles along, and that's why they started interpreting everything literally.
It's a vicious circle.
Well, look at it this way. I mean, I think John Kerry said it best. I mean, look at where all the major cities are. They're on the coast, the east or west.
Yeah.
I mean, the rest of everything is flyover country.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I would even argue education would be a good factor in religious fundamentalism. Especially...
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
And that'd be an excellent way of not getting rid of religion altogether. No matter how well educated you are, religion's going to still be around. It's it's something that will probably linger. But fundamentalism would definitely decrease. Well, I can't say definitely, but I'd say it would. It would. No, to say it would decrease. That is my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. You say about 70% of evangelicals have been homeschooled as well, suggesting that their parents are responsible for the education they've delivered to their children, so it's more than likely to be a personal bias presenting their own beliefs.
I mean, in my opinion, this is exactly why homeschooling, I believe, I've heard, if I'm mistaken, please correct me, but homeschooling is actually illegal in Germany, and that's because homeschooling is the number one tool for indoctrination.
Yeah,
I
think it should be illegal everywhere.
I completely agree.
Same. It's even for not only done it for indoctrination-wise, but practically, the parents would have to be experts, or at least have a degree knowledge in French, English, maths, science, history, all the basic...
it's a little more than that, but studies show that homeschooled kids just aren't as ready for the real world as normally schooled kids, because they don't have social interactions. Yeah, exactly, eye to eye.
They don't have
well, then again, people say that it's because he has Asperger's syndrome, so that's it too, but...
Who's that?
No, that's not it. I have some experience with that stuff, and that does not explain ignorance. It doesn't explain stupidity.
Who has Asperger's?
Some compulsory sort of behaviors, but...
No, I just want to ask, who did you say has Asperger's?
Eye to eye.
Well, the thing is, I have Asperger's syndrome.
Yeah.
So, I'm just saying.
It explains stupidity.
It would explain a few things, definitely.
But other homeschool people who are not Asperger, or do not have Asperger's, like that kid, the puppy turtle, he's homeschooled too, and he's a little, socially awkward, and I definitely think that has something to do with the fact that he's homeschooled. He doesn't interact.
Exactly. Homeschooling doesn't allow you to learn to interact with other people in the same way that...
Which is why, if you, I mean, I like the kid because he's trying to learn, and I can see that, and I like that about him. But he if the conversation isn't about what he wants, he gets bored, and he's like, yeah, fuck this, and it's like, you have to learn that not everything is what you want, and that's something that you learn once you interact with people in real life. Something he has not been able to do.
I definitely agree that if you've got Asperger's, then you shouldn't be homeschooled. I mean, I don't believe in homeschooling regardless, but if you have Asperger's, then you should be out socially as much as possible, because I went through till 13 years old, Aspergic, and just basically not very, very, very socially awkward. And it got to a point where I realised that if I carried on this way, then I'm not going to get anywhere in life. So I forced myself to go out and not even just to hang out with people, but just to go out in groups and just stand back and watch everyone else as they interact and learn how they interact. So you need to learn. The problem with Asperger's syndrome is that you don't have these things that everyone is already born with. You have to physically learn them. I mean, I forget. I mean, when I tell people that I'm Asperger, you're kidding me, aren't you? I was like, no, I've got it. And it's like, you can't tell, or if you can tell, it has to be after a prolonged period of time of talking with me or seeing how I move, because a lot of the stuff I have to do is physically forced.
So you socially develop by learning from other people and how they interact with each other, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, everything that I learn is from my own. I don't I've never read a book about it. I've just been going out and learning it myself, and about body language, how to read people, which I think really helps in my line of work doing gas and electricity and like sales. I mean, you've got to learn body language and vocal tones to do well in that, and it really helped.
Yeah, exactly. That's how people develop like accents and everything, so they actually reflect other people's forms of communication and everything. Say, for instance, if someone were to live in Scotland for all their life, they'd actually reflect the accent in their local area and sound Scottish instead, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just replying to. So I was just replying saying, how did I get diagnosed with Asperger's? And I said, don't self-diagnose. Don't self-diagnose, because more often than not, it will be wrong. it will be wrong. Yeah. So if you think you've got it, then go to hospitals where just say, I think I can just do a test on this to see how my brain works. I mean, when I did it, the reason why they found out that I have Asperger's was because there was a few things that I did, like I had to have a specific bowl, spoon, cup thing at a specific time. But also when I did the mental problems, I was getting all the easy questions wrong, but all the hard questions right, which they thought was odd, because I think things can't be that simple. I often think that they're wrong, so I try and use the other answer.
That's textbook.
Yeah.
The thing that I mean, if there's this one girl and this one female YouTuber on YouTube, obviously, who has Asperger's, who's Danish, and I think I have a crush on her. I must meet her and make her mine.
Oh, harass her.
It's probably better than Max Mann's voice fetish from last week.
Is it weird that I think GLaDOS has a very sexy voice?
Oh, yeah, Portal 2, isn't it? Oh,
yeah.
I love that. I love her voice.
Yeah.
Like
so shall we do the Idiots of the Year award?